Hey, what's going on? This is Ron Menchaca Channel. Inspiration, motivation, and kingdom principles is what we do. In this video, we're going to be talking about focus. Hey, are you focused on the things that you need to get done in your life? Or are you the kind of person that starts well and then shifts your focus to something else? Hey, if that is happening in your life, we got to bring you back to the original intent to getting that thing done. And sometimes we got focus thieves in our lives. But guess what? Today we have story time. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one. I'm ready. You're ready. Let's do this thing. Now, there was a king and a queen that was over their kingdom. And they had a beautiful daughter, very athletic. She loved to hike, she loved to swim, she loved to race, and she was very competitive in her life. The king and the queen noticed that she was getting up in age, and it was time for them to choose the next husband or the spouse for their daughter, knowing that it was customary that the parents would choose that for the daughter. Daughter, knowing that, she said, "Hey, Dad, I need you to help me out. I don't want you to pick some random person that I'm not going to fall in love with. I need someone who's just like me, who's able to be athletic as me and can do the things I do. I want someone to do that. How can we make this happen?" The king and the queen thought to themselves, "Hey, let's do this. Let's have a race. We'll put a decree out to every single man out there, young man, and ready to have the daughter's hand in marriage for anyone who can beat our daughter in the race." Well, they put that decree out, and it happened that they got a lot of candidates. And week after week, they would have one person race with her. Now, she was the fastest in the kingdom. So when she looked at the person and saw the physique and saw that and all that, she made a decision right there that I was going to smoke this guy, and it was not going to be an easy race. So they would get started, and bam, she would take off and run and leave that guy behind. No one could keep up with this princess. And it got to a point where the king was just scratching his head. He said, "I don't know what else to do. What do we do?" And when he said that, someone approached him, and his guards brought him to the king, and he says, "Sir, I would like to challenge your daughter for her hand in marriage. Would you permit this, oh great king?" The king looked at him and he says, "Oh my God. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's observe this. I saw you walk in, and as now that you're in front of me, you're not the most handsome person that I've ever seen. And I don't know if my daughter would even consider that. And then you also came in with a limp, and you were just dragging one of your feet. I mean, you were just limping there. I don't know if that's what's happening there, but do you understand it is a race that we're doing for her hand in marriage?" And he said, "I can do it, sir. I just need the opportunity." And the queen turns to the husband and says, "Well, you know we have our daughter who is the fastest. It's going to be no problem. Let it happen." And so it was. The following weekend, the Saturday, they had another contestant who was going to go and win the race for the hand of the princess. It happened that the princess looked upon this man and said, "He is hideous. He's ugly. And he's no way he's going to win. Look at him. He's got a limp to him." And then they started the race. Bam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, bam. They took off. And as they were going, she smoked him. She was going. But what happened was, as soon as he started going, he reached into his bag and he pulled out a gold shiny apple. And he saw her and he threw it way in front of her. And as she was running, she sees this shiny object in the distance and she stops. and she looks at it. And knowing well that he's way back there, she stops and looks and picks up this apple and starts to look at it and says, oh my goodness, not in the whole kingdom have I ever seen an apple so shiny and pure gold. This is amazing. But little did she understand that as she was looking at this apple, that limp guy, the guy that was hideous, passed her up. And as he passed her up, she noticed in the distance that he was way ahead of her. So she put it on the side right there and she took off running. She quickly caught up to him and passed him and smoked him again. And he reached into the bag one more time and took out a second apple out and threw it ahead of her. And then she stops as she sees that shiny object. She says, no way. I have one. Now I have two golden apples here. This is unheard of in this kingdom. I've never seen this before. Wow. And once again, this man passes her up. This young man with the limp passing her up. And he's going, and he could see the finish line. And he knows he's going to try to win and do off. She sees him and she books it. And she's gone. And she is gone. I mean, she's passing him up. She's about to hit the finish line. And he throws one more apple in front, a golden shiny apple. And she stops and she picks it up and she says, not one, not two, but three. This is amazing. And she's enamored. She's just looking at these apples, golden apples, and she's just amazed by them. And ladies and gentlemen, she is so fascinated with the apples that this young man with the limp and hideous crosses the finish line before she does. And it is said that she must marry this individual. I say this story because we're all in a race in our lives, all of us. But what is it? What shiny object, what shiny apple is deterring you from getting to your destiny, getting to the place where you know that you should be and you're on track? The thing with our lives is that each and every one of us are given the same amount of time, opportunity, and everything. We just have to be crafty enough to be focused enough and not focus on the apples that are thrown in our way. Now, in the Christian realm, in the church realm, this happens quite often. We get started in our faith and in God, and we go, but here comes those temptations that come our way, and we stop and we look at it, whatever that temptation is, and life passes us by. We're getting older. We're not the same as we were 10 years ago, but our focus has got to remain on the prize, which is the finish line. And so even though this hideous guy, this guy with the limp, was smarter than her, he won after all. So those are people you have to understand in your life that are focus thieves, that are trying to rob you of the greatness that you have. Be focused, my friend, in the things that you need to do. And she could have picked up the apple. She could have looked at it and kept running. But no, it stopped her in her tracks because it was so much beauty there. It was so much stuff that was going on there. And not one, not two, but three? That's unheard of. Where did these even come from? You know, and it's an amazing thing because there's things in our lives that we are looking at, we're observing, and it's taking us some time. But the reality is we have to be focused on what we're doing in our lives. You can do it. I can do it. We just have to put that energy into doing what we do. So if you want progression in your life, be focused. Get with people who are going to push you towards your goals, push you towards your dreams and your aspirations. Surround yourself around people who are teaching you how to focus on a thing, who are not afraid to tell you, you know what, I'll give you a call later. I'm focused on this thing right here. I need to get this completed. And it's going to work for you. I'm telling you, if it's family you want to build, focus on that. Well, don't let any other thing get in the way and focus. Start calling people, start looking, checking in, start doing this, start setting appointments. Hey, meet me over here. We'll get some dinner. We'll do this and that. And build that culture, build that friendship, build that family that you want. You have the power to do that. Now, whatever else it is that you want to do, understand that you have greatness. Understand that you're great on the inside. And guess what? There's focus thieves that are out there to rob you of your greatness, or at least slow you down so that they can get ahead. I'm telling you, this is what we're talking about. Focus. That's it. Focus. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Menchaca Channel. Inspiration, motivation, and kingdom principles is what we do. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to ring that bell so you can get another episode of Menchaca Channel. Hey, we all gotta focus on what we're doing because focus thieves are out there. And I'm telling you, if we're focused, we're gonna get ahead. Until next time.